And Thea's right. Wow. She's beating down doubters. She's on top right now.
Somebody needs to stop this.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey, this is the Red Carpet Ring. We are here. This is TBK, the Turnbuckle King. We are here on YouTube, Facebook, and X. We're here to talk about WWE NXT results, winners, reaction, highlights. And we also here to talk about what went wrong with NXT. We will go over that after I give my rating. So we'll go over that too. And also we'll go over the bonus round of who will be Oba Femi's next challenger. So we're going to figure out who could defeat Oba Femi for his title. But welcome. Thank you all for coming out. But before we start, let's get into the NXT match card for the recent episode. So if you guys want to take for a moment, let's look over the match card real quick for the match card for NXT. Now, as you guys can see, some are promos and most are matches. Well, let's get into the beginning of the first match. So let's get into it. The first match we had kickoff was a good reunite. The first match of the Rascalz versus Gallus. And the Rascalz defeated Gallus. This was a very, very good match. Very good way to kick off NXT. These boys did their thing. Wes Lee reunited with his boys, since he did not defeat Oba Femi for his championship. But other than that, these guys kicked off the show great. Great back and forth. It was a good, very good competition. Rascalz, they still didn't lose a step. They were moving very good. It was like a well-oiled machine, pretty much. The team of Wes Lee, Zachary Wentz, and Trey Miguel, they had very, very good chemistry. Gallus, of course, was great as the heel tag team, but it was a pretty much very good, smooth match, I would say. I like how the group was moving together, all the three moves they did together, and I just like they just had a very, very good move. Hot tags were good. Wentz did his thing, Zachary Wentz did his thing, but they all was in sync with each other. But other than that, though, and then we also had a cameo, if you guys didn't notice. The cameo was Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. He's very, very well liked by the NXT audience. So we're going to see, I heard we're going to see more of him on NXT. We know he came from TNA. He tag teamed with Trick Williams last week. But he was on commentary. And other than that, just a very, very good match. Very good to kick off the show. And these guys, I just like this match. It was a very good way. I was like, what match is going to top this one? It was so good. But these guys did their thing. I really admire how these guys worked well in the ring together.
Booker, where's this hostility coming from? Exactly. I've been asking that for years. But off the stop, into the cover.
And then these guys have won. So this is a good match. Salute to the Rascalz. And good, like I say, Gallus as well. They was in a losing effort. Very, very good way to kick off the show. And yes, Joe Hendry, very good appearance. And we saw him in some backstage segments later. He was talking to Gallus later on. But other than that, this was a good way for the show. But he did not compete. He just announced and did a little talking. That was it. And as you can see, this was him here. So he made his little appearance. So the crowd went crazy when he came in there, though. They liked it. But let's get on to the other part of the show. Trick Williams, he's backstage. He looks for advice. He said, how does he get his NXT Championship back? If you look on there, on the phone right there, that is Ilya Dragunov. Via phone, we saw Ilya Dragunov, and Ilya Dragunov told him, like, I got my own film on the main roster, man. You got to figure it out, man. Ilya got his own stuff going on. Now, we had another cameo. We had a cameo also by Pete Dunne. which was strange. I don't know why he was there, but if you look in the next screen, we had another cameo by him. P. Dunne was there, and if you look, he was sitting there with his arms folded. We know P. Dunne recently just turned heel on Monday Night Raw. So Trick asked him, and he said, he told him to figure it out. They all basically told him to figure it out. But this is Trick Williams trying to find his way back to the NXT Championship. I'm pretty sure he'll get his one-on-one rematch against Ethan Page at some point. But they just showed the backstage of Trick. Trick did not wrestle. He had no match tonight. So he just wrestled. He just was backstage talking and figuring out what his next move should be as far as regaining the NXT Championship since losing it at NXT Heatwave. So we'll see what happens next with Trick Williams. Next up, we had NXT Championship match. We had Ethan Page, all ego. He defended his championship against Dante Chen, and Ethan Page did retain his championship. I want to notate this was a very, very solid match as well. Very good match by both of these guys. They did their thing. Ethan did his thing. Now Dante Chen did his thing. Dante Chen, he always had great energy. I saw this on when he was on NXT Level Up. I saw clips of it, and then when he comes to NXT, he always had energy and fire. So Dante Chen, I know he cherished this. He put on his X account, biggest match of his life, but it was in losing effort. As you can see, Ethan Page did retain his NXT Championship, and then he later left the building. And Ethan Page said, afterwards, he did get attacked by Ora Mensah. Ora Mensah attacked him back in the office. Back in the office, they was talking about it. He was coming to talk to him, and Ethan Page and Ora Mensah, Ava settled that out. But we pretty much going to see something go down between those two. And Ava told Ora Mensah, you can't be attacking Ethan Page like that. Ethan Page said, hey, this is an unsafe work environment. Since I'm your champion, you got this monster. Ora Mensah attacking me every chance you get. Like, dude, you attacked him. You took him out. Of course, he's going to come for you. And I get to Ora Mensah. He's been bringing it to Ethan Page. But, Ava talked to Ora Mensah, you can't do that. There ain't going to be none of that. So if you're going to be here, ain't gonna be no attacking. So that doesn't work for her.
No, brother, doesn't work for me right now.
So she settled that out. But Ethan Page is still the NXT champion. And he was shown leaving later on. He was talking about Ora Mensah when he was asked by the announcers, backstage interview, I meant to say. And he was like, I'm out of here. I had my match. I'm the NXT champion. I won. Ora Mensah attacked me. I'm out of here. So that was it for as far as Ethan Page retaining his championship. Like I said, very solid match. Very solid match. So, but other than that, though, this was not a bad match. You guys let me know what you thought about Ethan Page to retain his title. We'll see what happens next with Ethan Page. Now, next up, we have Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez, she came out and she talked about how she defeated everybody. And she even called out Gulia and Stephanie Vaquer. I thought she was going to have one of those two come out, but then Thea Hale came out because that was her next challenger. And since that was her next challenger, Roxanne was saying, Thea Hale, you're all right, but, she didn't take her seriously at all. She says she's going to beat her, and they showed a preview. It's pretty much going to be for the Great American Bash TV special on Sci-Fi that I talked to you guys about last week. So that's going to be August 6th. So that's a few weeks away. But she's pretty much going to have her next challenger. I thought Gulia or Stephanie Vaquer, who just signed with WWE, would come out. They've been talking about for months now. Obviously, that's not the case here. So I guess until one of those two do challenge Roxanne for her NXT Women's Championship, we're going to have Thea Hale challenge her then Thea Hill has been doing much lately. She's been on sidelines. She's been cheering Chase U, whether it's Duke Hudson and Andre Chase, or in the upcoming match, Duke Hudson versus Oba Femi for the NXT North American Championship. She hasn't really done much lately. The last thing she did was the 6-woman tag, NXT Stand Deliver. It was herself, Fallon, and Kalani, I believe. They defeated JC Jane. JC Jane was the last big, storyline she had for her as a competitor, but I'm glad that they're doing something with her. But, they had a little good back and forth, though. But we already know how this is going to go down at the end of the day. But very good back and forth, good interaction.
And Thea's right. Wow. She's beating down doubters. She's on top right now.
Nobody can stop this.
So Roxanne, told she a little girl. She attacked her first. Then Thea attacked her. They both attacked each other. Roxanne was trying to, she put Thea in a cross-face. Then, as you see, Thea flipped over, put her submission move. She has her submission move. So it's a good size of opponents. Thea and Roxanne, both small ladies. Thea a little taller than Roxanne. But other than that, this will be a good preview, something set for Great American Bash. So we're going to see what happens with Roxanne. But Roxanne did not compete. She's cut a promo. So they're saving Roxanne for a good moment, as they should. She's been doing her thing as champion. She's defeated Jordan Grace. She's defeated Natalia. She just defeated Lola Vice. She's defeated Lyra Valkyria to win the championship at NXT Stand Deliver. So she's been doing her thing. So I'll give it to Miss Roxanne Perez. I'll give it to her. She's been doing her thing for the most part. But before we get to the main event, we're going to go over a few other matches. So let's go over the results here before we get there. Now, we had Javon Evans had a match versus Brooks Jensen. Brooks Jensen attacked him last week, and Evans defeated Jensen by pinfall. Izzi Dame had a match against Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley Tatum Paxley defeated Izzi Dame by pinfall. Lola Vice and JC Jane had a little interaction backstage. They had led to a match. She went against JC Jane, and Lola Vice defeated JC Jane by pinfall. Then we had a tag match. You can see the OC versus OTM, and OC defeated OTM by pinfall. So these were the matches that were going on. And of course, I already talked about the opening match of Rascalz, and I talked about Ethan Page, retain his championship. Now we're going to get to the main event, and main event is, as you already know, it is right here, Oba Femi defending his NXT North American Championship against Chase U member Duke Hudson. Very good way that they set this up. They did a vignette of Duke Hudson's whole career. I forgot how long he's been in NXT. He's been in NXT since 2.0 days. It's showing he's a whole different character. And I remember he joined Chase U. That was, 2 years ago almost. But this was a good match. This could have been pretty much, it was up there with the opening match with Gallus and the Rascalz. So this was a very good match, good back and forth. We saw there was good moments in the match. We thought that there were times that, maybe that we thought that Duke Hudson maybe was going to get the win over Oba Femi, but he didn't. But like I said, it was a very good, solid match between these guys. They did what they could, and we know that these guys were going at it. When Oba Femi brings it, he brings it no matter what. But I liked how these guys went at it. It was a very good competition, very good main event, very good way to close out the show. So these guys was nothing short of excellent. So I liked how these guys was competing with one another. So I'll give credit to both of these guys. They were great. They were solid. Boys were solid in the match. So I liked how this match went. And of course, you already know how this match ended. It ended with Oba Femi retaining his NXT North American Championship, but he hit Duke Hudson with the power bomb. But I know there were times where at one point in the match where it was near falls with Duke Hudson. Duke Hudson, like he was close to winning the championship. I like how Hudson caught Oba Femi with a running knee strike. Then he hit the chase U punches. Then, he put the chase U up, punching him, and then it was crazy. He hit him with a crossbody. He almost got with a crucifix pin at one point. And then Oba Femi got with a choke slam. Hudson kicked out of choke slam. Oba Femi was shocked. It was a great reaction from the NXT audience. And, of course, Chase U members, they was rooting him on. Andre Chase, Thea, hell, they all thought he was close. But I know Oba Femi did one part. He went to the top rope. Then Duke Hudson went out. He did a sunset flip powerbomb fall, near fall. That was great. This was like the best match of Duke Hudson's career. Do not be surprised if Duke Hudson do end up winning the championship at some point. But he really showed out in this match tonight against Oba Femi. So this was good. I liked how these guys went at it. These guys was not taking nothing from either one of each other. So it was good. I liked how these guys just competing, just competition. It was just competition. They was not joking around. So I like how these guys, it was just back and forth. It was not no botching, not no slacking. These just two big men going out. So I liked that. I enjoyed that. I think it was great. But it was every time Oba Femi gets in the ring, I know he does his thing regardless. But Duke Hudson, I was really impressed by him. I'll give it to him. I was impressed by how he was handling business. I was like, wow. I mean, this was a yes type of match with that. I'll give it, honestly, it was a yes.
Yes! 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 Yes!
So this was solid with these guys. I mean, I'm glad these guys. I'm glad Duke Hudson got an opportunity for the championship. So good for him. I know him and Andre just recently went out for the NXT tag team belts. They did not win, but I'm glad that these guys could do what they could do. But yeah, salute to them. Salute to them. Like I said, very good way of these guys going at it. I like how these guys is just showing straight competition. And Oba Femi, he does well against either small man or big man. He does not disappoint. So I liked the opening and everything. Duke Hudson was showing no fear. He was ready to go against Oba Femi. I like that, the resilience in him in this match as well. So good.
Goes Hudson. Challenger.
Yeah, so very good spot in the match. But other than that, though, that was the way to close out NXT. Oba Femi, hand raised, still champion. Now let's get to the rating of NXT. What's my final rating on the show? Final rating is 4.5. 4 out of 5. No, I'm sorry, not 4.5, but 4 out of 5. Very good setups, very good new rivalries began. You got the Roxanne and Thea Hell. That'll be interesting. Duke Hudson showed out, this match at Oba Femi. Had a great main event to close the show. Great opener match of the reuniting, Rascalz versus Gallus. We had a good six mix tag of OC and OTM. I like the whole Brooks Jensen thing, trying to see where that's going. We have that as well. That actually was the last part of the show. But, I like to see what's going on with Brooks Jensen. Him and Josh Bridges going to have a one-on-one match next week. That will be a no disqualification. So that's going to be interesting. Other than that, though, these were good, very good way for NXT to have this show. We know that we got Great American Bash coming up. So very good, solid show. Also, before we get to what went wrong, we do have announcements here. We also have here that 2 PLEs coming up for NXT. We have NXT No Mercy just announced. That'll be September 1st. And then the following month, we have NXT Halloween Havoc. That'll be Sunday, October 27th. So those will both be on Peacock. And these will be after the Great American Bash, which will not be on Peacock. That will be a sci-fi TV special. I don't know why sci-fi. I know it's on USA, but that's what they doing. Other than that, though, very good show. But let's get to what went wrong with NXT. Let's get to that segment. So let's go to what went wrong with NXT. What were the problems here? Let's see. What were issues here? What was something that needs to be discussed here? Now I'm gonna go over a few things. Despite the show being solid, despite it being good and everything, no problem at all. But the thing it is a few things that need to be highlighted, and they will be highlighted. And it's just some issues that I thought that should be highlight on the show. So let's get into that. Give me 1 second. We'll get that up right now. Couple of things I saw wrong. Despite it being a good show, despite it being great, it's just some things that I can't ignore for the most part. And I'm going to get to that. It just, like I said, I'm going to call out what went wrong regardless of happen or not happen for that part. But we're going to talk about it right now. And I'll go over what happened with the show, what went wrong with the show, and what I see a problem with. And it could be something I just saw this episode or something I've been seeing going on. Let's begin. We got Izzi Dame. She needs to go back to NXT level up or something or get more training. Her matches are not good. They're very subpar. She didn't have a good match today against Tatum Paxley. And I know she lost, but it wasn't a good match. Last week she lost to Thea. Again, losing effort, but not a good match as well. So I don't know what's up with her. She does not sound like a good competitor. Now, granted, I know this is NXT, this developmental program. I know if they're not at least getting to some standards on NXT level, they go down to NXT level up. And we know NXT level up is on Friday nights and it's on Peacock and it's right after Friday Night SmackDown. Maybe that's what she needs to do or keep her off TV. She needs to get back into PC and train. She's not that good. I've been watching her. She's not that good. I know she was first paired up with Kiana James when she came in NXT before Kiana James got called to the main roster. They paired her up with there. Didn't really do nothing for her. But ever since she's been on her own, since Kiana James got drafted to Raw, she hasn't done much. She has been in no matches, no major feuds. Her matches are very, very below average. So I don't know what WWE is going to do with her, but she needs some more work. I'm not saying she can't get better. Just stop advertising her matches on TV. Maybe somebody else will go on TV who's actually better than her. I would like to see more of that. But her matches are not good. Not good. No offense to her. She needs some more training done. I could see it. So that's one thing I saw wrong. Another thing we'll go over what went wrong in a second. But other than that, I think if she does that, I think if she does more of that, I think she'll be fine. You know, WWPC is, if not the best training system, NXT developmental system is the best. So you got the best of the best there with you. So I'm not taking that from her at all. So I know she has the volleyball background and all that stuff, and that's how she got into wrestling. They show vignettes of her. So hopefully it's improving. I hope it, at some point, hope she gets better. But right now, just keep her off TV with the matches. Not good. Another thing I saw wrong, Pete Dunne. Why Pete Dunne cameo? He didn't do anything. He just told Trick Williams, get some help, figure out your own, and he walked off. He talked for like 2 seconds. And he's a recent heel character. Trick Williams a baby face. Why the interaction? Didn't do anything. Didn't make sense to me. I thought that was kind of odd even having him there to begin with. Where's the connection with Pete Dunne at NXT now that he's a heel? I know he has history with NXT UK. I get all of that. The championship, him. I know his history, but I'm talking about right now with Trick Williams, the connection with him. It didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand that at all. So I don't understand why he was there. We already had Joe Hendry as a cameo. He even did the announcing for the opening match. We didn't need him to. NXT was good without this whole segment. I thought it was a waste of a segment. I understand that Trick Williams talked to Ilya, about getting his title back because he beat Ilya when he won the title and they had a rivalry. Pete Dunne didn't make no sense to me. No connection there, really. But let's move on to the third thing I saw wrong. Thea Hale. Why is NXT not taking Thea Hale seriously? She's not a bad wrestler. Thea Hale, when she competes. I remember last year NXT, I think it was NXT. I want to say maybe it was Great American Bash last year. She competed then women's NXT champion Tiffany Stratton, and she pushed her to the limit. She actually showed that she could beat Tiffany for an NXT women's title. And since then, she hasn't been really an NXT women's title match. And it seemed like they're heading that way with Roxanne now. But I don't know why they're treating her like that because, they may like Roxanne treating like she's a joke. She's a nobody, but she cut that segment on there like she ain't going to do nothing. Look how Roxanne looked, like, oh, you coming out here. Like, I don't know. I mean, Roxanne disrespected her in the promo. I didn't get that at all. I thought Thea Hale should deserve more than that, considering her history with NXT. She's been there for quite some time now. I mean, Thea literally got there right after, I think, high school. She played off the Chase U, the youngest one. I just didn't get that at all. I thought she should get at least put some more respect on her name because she debuted, 3 years ago. And they just treat her bad in this promo. I thought Thea should deserve better.
Yes, woman, but you're nothing but a little girl.
So I didn't like that at all. Thea should get a little bit more. Like I said, she wrestled 3 years ago, came in NXT 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. So she came like the very middle of the NXT 2.0 era. I thought she should, give more props than that. Thea's not bad though. I don't think she get enough props. I'm not saying she's the top woman on the NXT roster, but she's not bad. She's better than Izzi Dame, I can tell you that much. But I like Thea Hale. She has potential. But that was the third thing I saw wrong. Other than that though, that's only three things I saw wrong, and that's all I have for what went wrong with NXT. Now we're gonna we're gonna shift gears. And we're going to be on YouTube only, not X or Facebook. Well, you know what? Maybe we stay on that a little longer. We're going to talk about the bonus round. Give me a second. We're going to talk about Oba Femi. And we're going to see who can defeat him for his title. So we'll get to that in a second. All right, we're here at the bonus round, talking about Oba Femi. You guys get those likes up while we're in the building. Get those likes up. We're going to talk about Oba Femi, who is the current NXT North American champion. And he's been doing his thing since he's won the NXT North American Championship. To say at least, the man's been on a tear. So we know that Oba Femi, he's one of the best people on the roster. I know he's been champ for 6 months now. I think 180 days, 181, 82, approximately 6 months. And he's been champ for half a year, and he's been doing his thing since he debuted. And remember, he came in, he won the NXT Breakout Tournament, and he cashed in the NXT Breakout Tournament on then champion Dragon Lee for the NXT North American Championship, as you see that he's won, and he's had since then. And Oba Femi is great. I like he's agile. I like how he could work with not just big opponents but small opponents. He has no limit to what kind of build of a wrestler that he can wrestle. He has no limitations. And what I like about too, since he's won a championship, as Sheamus would say, banger after banger after banger. This man's been doing this thing ever since he's won his title. All his matches have been great. I have not saw anything short of excellent with Oba Femi. If you look, he had a great, amazing NXT Stand Deliver triple threat match when he defended the championship against Josh Briggs and Dijak. They had a great match. These three men showed out. It was one of the best matches on the card, and it could easily been the main event. No disrespect to Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes, but I think this was a great, great match between these three guys. We saw all that these three guys could put out in the ring. In that match, they left it all in the ring. I like the spots they had. It was great. You could tell Oba Femi still struggling with some things, but that's expected of the NXT developmental program. That's why they're here in NXT, just to get better so they can get ready for the main roster when that time comes. But other than that, though, these three guys, they really showed out in that match. And it's one of the best triple threat matches I've seen in NXT history, or probably ever for that matter. And when we thought that Oba Femi had a fluke triple threat, we thought he got lucky. He proved us wrong again. He did the same thing at NXT Battleground, another triple threat, but this time it wasn't against two other big men like himself. It was smaller guys in the likes of Wes Lee and Joe Coffey, and they also did their thing in this match, and they really showed out and let people know that this is a great, great story that we're telling in the ring. And Oba Femi's letting people know this is why I'm the NXT North American champion. This is why I'm here, and this is why you do not want to take me lightly when I defend this championship, no matter who I defend this champion against, whether it's a Wes Lee or Joe Coffey or a Dijak or Josh Briggs or any triple threat match for that matter. So the man's been doing this thing, and I got to give him a salute for that. He's really been on one, and his whole run has been undisputed.
And that is undisputed.
So salute to Oba Femi on that. And then recently he had a one-on-one match against Wes Lee for the NXT North American Championship at NXT Heatwave. Now I will give it to Wes Lee. Wes Lee was very close to defeating Oba Femi and regaining the NXT North American Championship that he never lost. He had to relinquish due to injury. So this was another great story between Oba Femi and a challenger. And this was probably one of his better matches because we saw the triple threats. They gave him a one-on-one at a PLE, and he just showed out. And so did Wes Lee. And he's proven time and time and time and time and time again, no matter whether it's a one-on-one triple threat or PLE or even an NXT show, he is always going to do his thing no matter what. Like I say, recently just had a great match on the recent episode of NXT against Duke Hudson. So it's nothing short that he does. He gives 110% each time in the ring. And if he keeps this up, we talk about the NXT North American Championship. We talked about Velveteen Dream. We talked about Adam Cole. We could talk about Carmelo Hayes. We could talk about Wes Lee. I think he's going to take that crown as the best NXT North American champion if he hasn't already, because he's literally putting out banger after banger after banger after banger. It doesn't matter who the opponent is or any match situation. Now, the only thing I will say with Oba Femi, since he's proved himself in triple threats and one-on-ones, I would like to see more range of Oba Femi. And what do I mean by that? I think a thing to prove him, to solidify his reign as North American champion, I think he needs more match stipulations. And what I mean by that, it could be not just one, it could be plenty of match stipulations. I mean, we could go anywhere from, it could be a steel cage match, falls count anywhere, no holds barred. If I see him more of those matches where he has more range, I think he's going to push it even more further. And I don't see him getting injured or getting hurt that much. I think he has the strength to hold it down. But I would like to see more of those type of match stipulations in his championship run, because if I don't see that in Oba Femi, that is when his run could start to get stale and it could be boring. And we don't want that for Oba Femi. I know he's a heel. I know he's over with the but I would like to see more range of that from him. And I think we get that. I think he'll be solid. I think he'll be a very, very solid NXT North American champion, more polished. He is solid, but a little more polished, and this will solidify him as being the best NXT North American champion of all time. So, but since he defeated recently Duke Hudson NXT, he recently defeated Wes Lee at Heatwave. He needs some new challengers. Let's be honest here. And the question is, who could be the next challengers for Oba Femi for his NXT North American champion? Let's go down the list, shall we, of who should be his next challengers. And we'll start off. 1, whoop that Trick Williams. Trick Williams could be a good challenger for Oba Femi. Now, we know Trick Williams recently lost his NXT championship. He doesn't have a title right now. I know he'll get a rematch against Ethan Page. I know he's lost. He doesn't know what to do next. What's his next move? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, I said that he could regain the title from Ethan Page, because he's still over. What if he doesn't regain the title from Ethan Page right now? What if he does not win at this particular moment? What if Trick Williams instead competes for the NXT North American champion? Maybe give Oba Femi a run for his money. Big man versus big man. I know Trick Williams is not the most in-ring skilled, especially compared to Oba Femi, but it will be a good big man versus big man matchup on the one-on-one thing. So I think that will be solid. I think Trick Williams, maybe, just maybe Oba Femi pushes Trick Williams to bring out the best in him. Maybe we see the best version of Trick Williams in-ring skill-wise. Maybe Oba Femi's the guy for that job. Maybe we can get something like that. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe that could be the case here. But I would like to see what's next for Oba Femi, and maybe Trick Williams would be a great opponent for him. Now, I don't know if it'll be at maybe it could be at one of the PLEs of the newly announced of NXT No Mercy or NXT Halloween Havoc, which will both be in September and October, respectively. So maybe Trick Williams will be a good challenger, and maybe Trick could even get it close to winning the NXT North American title. Or not, let's be honest, or not. But let's just put that out there, a good challenger. Now I'll go through I have another challenger on the list. Shawn Spears. Shawn Spears, another guy that was involved in the NXT Championship picture, did not win the title. Maybe if there's nothing else for him to do, if he does get close to the title, maybe that's no major feud. Maybe he could be the next challenger for Oba Femi's NXT North American Championship. You saw how Shawn handled Trick. It shows that Shawn Spears can still wrestle against good big men. Maybe he can put some work into Oba Femi. Maybe he can give him a run for his money. Maybe he could showcase how good he really is, or people forgot how good he was. I mean, he is formerly known as Ty Dillinger, But let's see what happens next with that. If Trick's not the challenger, maybe Shawn is. Maybe Shawn could say, "Hey, I want to challenge for the NXT North American Championship," because he never held that title. He's not doing nothing major. He wasn't. I haven't heard anything of him since he, was in that NXT Championship picture. So maybe he'll be the one. Maybe the next challenger. Got another one on the list. Javon Evans, another person who was involved in the NXT Championship picture. He was in the 4-way match. He also did not win. Alongside Trick and Shawn Spears, maybe he could say, "Hey, I'm the young OG. Maybe the NXT Championship's not in my range right now, my very, very young career. Maybe I should go for the NXT North American Champion." Now, Javon, he has something different than the other two challengers I mentioned. He has the speed, he can move, he can fly. Oba Femi may not be able to catch him when he's flying. he may be able to get Oba Femi while he's down doing the moves because he's like a little bit of he's like a ricochet. He could do the flying moves. He could have the moonsaults, all of that, and maybe he could be the one to push Oba Femi to almost beating him and maybe even win the NXT North American Championship. So it's a thought. Javon Evans is he's actually one of the best cases to challenge him. Javon Evans got some height on him. He can move. He's fast. He's agile. It will be a good combination of Javon Evans and Oba Femi. It's just the only thing, and they both got the experience level at the same, so they pretty much matched up. It's just Oba Femi, of course, much stronger, much bigger. But Javon Evans, he's no slouch, nothing a slouch at. He's good, very good, and I think he has what it takes to become the future of NXT. He can win the NXT North American Championship for Oba Femi, and later on winning the NXT Championship, whoever the champion is at that particular time. But I think he'll be a good pick, very good pick to challenge Oba Femi for this championship and maybe even winning it. Now, I'm gonna hit you guys with a curveball right now for the last challenger. It's gonna be a little bit different. He was not involved in the NXT Championship picture. Shoot, he's not even from NXT. But we're gonna throw this out there. I mentioned his name before. Moose, the current TNA World Champion. Now, I mentioned a good fantasy matchup between Moose and Oba Femi, and I picked Moose to even defeat Oba Femi if they had a one-on-one matchup. What if Moose made an appearance to NXT from TNA? He already is holding the TNA World title, and he says, "You know what? I want more gold around my shoulder. How about I challenge for that NXT North American Champion?" He challenges Oba Femi. It could be at the NXT No Mercy or Halloween Havoc, and he defeats Oba Femi. Not only challenges him, but beats him. And now he is showing not just his TNA World title on his shoulder, but the NXT North American title on his shoulder. And he walks over to TNA saying, "Hey guys, look, I went over to NXT and I got one of their titles, and it showed him on TNA television." And he will be the first person to do that, to go from TNA to NXT, win one of their branded titles, and come back to that title. Jordan Grace couldn't do it with Roxanne Perez. Maybe he's the first to do that. Maybe Moose will be the best all-around challenger for Oba Femi, be the biggest challenge ever for Oba Femi, the biggest match of his career. But Oba Femi loses the NXT North American title to Moose, and Moose will come out champion. He'll be a double champion at this point. And maybe for a rematch, Oba Femi gets sent back he comes to TNA, and maybe he wants the title back from Moose. However they want to do it. But I think Moose will be the biggest challenge yet for Oba Femi for his title. I don't see why not. That's a very, very good scenario putting these two together. I think it'll be a best match. Both guys are big, they're both tall. It will be a very good these guys. These guys can really go at it, pound for pound. Best thing going down. So I think Moose will be the one. Like I said, Javon, I can see could possibly beat him. Moose, I for definitely sure see defeating Oba for his NXT North American Champion. Because at the end of the day, we got to realize that, yes, Oba Femi needs a challenger. No matter what the case is. So I'll say Moose is a challenger, and this is why I put him last. Still, I know they have a PA pay-per-view coming up, but I think that'll be a great opportunity for Moose, and it'll make Oba Femi like $1 million now. He's looking good now. He like $1 billion going against a TNA World Champ. That will be a big boost to Oba Femi's career, going against someone like Moose, who's a champion, and he even came to see how serious Oba Femi is, and he wants to challenge for the championship. That would definitely put a large boost onto Oba Femi's name and his career and everything, and it'll be something Oba Femi neither Moose will forget if they had that one-on-one matchup for the NXT North American Championship. Just a thought, but I think he'll be the great best challenge. And that's all I have regarding who will be the next challenger for Oba Femi, who will be Oba for the NXT North American Championship that he's been holding on for 6 months and counting. But you guys let me know what you think of that scenario. I appreciate it. You guys, your support has always been greatly appreciated. I want to see what's going to be next move for Oba Femi, because he needs a challenger. He's defeated a lot of people since he won this belt. Triple threats, single matches, PLEs, NXT episodes, no matter. He's defeated a lot of people, and he needs to be challenged. Soon two videos will pop up. One would be why Damien's not the best world champion. And the next video will be who's the next NXT Women's Champion. You guys already know what it is. It is OUNT.